are the fanboys? The Fresh and Fit fanboys, where they're at? I tell you where they're at. They're in the fucking streets right now celebrating. They're in every nightclub. They're in every bar. They're in every club. They're fucking everywhere. At the end of the day, Fresh and Fit did legit a 5-hour podcast. 5-hour podcast of receipts. Every single person that went back and trashed them online, people that they had in their studio that ended up saying, talking shit about them, people they never met, talking shit about them online, right? People they've interacted. These dudes came in with so much receipts, it was almost laughable. 5 hours. I didn't watch the whole 5 hours. I got a career, I got a wife, I got a dog. I got a life. I'm not wasting 5 straight hours. That's something I got to break up if I'm going to really watch the whole thing. But they literally went in on every single person, right? So I got through like the first couple hours and I was just like, okay, you guys will get the idea of what they were doing after the first 2 hours. So the first 2 hours I would say was about the Anna Quinn and the Nina Unrated, and they kind of went in on the fact that they withheld information, right? So they came out with text messages. They came out with video. They came out with audio recordings a little bit later on, like after they were done with these two. They had all these receipts that we didn't know anything about, right? The only thing I could say that I'm still not riding with them on is the Abba and Preach thing. I'm not riding with them on. At the end of the day, I know they apologized multiple times, and I get that part. But if Preach still feels some type of way, you got to run the fade with them. Regardless, you got to run the fade with them. So they apologized again on air. So that they're gonna have to work out themselves between Abba and Preach. That's something they got to do. But the two females, at least the first two on video, bro. They went in. They showed everything. You guys got to give it to them. Originally, you see my thumbnail, and I have it in the background of this video. It says we got receipts. My initial thinking was I was like, I'm gonna put them in as comeback kings or something like that, because these guys sat back for 2 weeks, depending on what situation you're looking at, a week, 2 weeks, and plotted. They didn't say anything. They had a little weak apology with the whole Abba and Preach, but I ain't really talk about that too much right now. But they sat and plotted, and they waited, and they waited. As if they were waiting to see who's their real friends and who's not their real friends. Right? They saw their subscribers tank. Right? But they're sitting back, and they're looking, and they're plotting. And while they're plotting, they're putting a timeline down. I guarantee that's what they're doing. They're putting a timeline down of everything that took place. Because they were ready for a video like this. They didn't have they have like a night show with the females afterwards. They didn't have that day. It was straight facts. Anyone who wanted to ask a question, today was the day to ask the question. And that's what they did. They dedicated their entire podcast to their fans. And whatever questions that they needed to have to answer, they answered it. 5 hours. I ain't watched the whole thing, but I'm going to try to wrap it up. But, man, they at least with the first two females, they went in, man. They definitely went in. I did fast forward a little bit towards the end when Myron started talking about, I guess, a potential baby mama problem that he had, whatever it was. I didn't know this took place until he actually had this video up. So I fast forward, I kind of watched that part of it a little bit, and because he had timestamps on the videos. That part was interesting. I looked at it. I would say Fresh probably needed to stay out of that one. Again, you guys got to go and actually watch it, but Fresh needs to kind of stay out of that one. I think they didn't do a good job with that one. If this female could potentially be your baby mother, you might not want to put her on blast. Whether or not she put you on blast on Twitter and say you coerced her or whatever it might be, that person could potentially be a baby mom. That's probably, you didn't move well on that. I would say that for Myron, you didn't move well on that one. I wouldn't have put that one on the internet. I think that was probably the only person you probably shouldn't have touched on. That's my own opinion. But that could have potentially be a baby mother. You said it yourself. It wasn't protecting when you messed with the girl. Fresh should have probably stayed away from that too. It had nothing to do with you. That part you might want to step away with. But overall, from what I saw in the video, these guys protected their brand to the best of their ability. Right? At the end of the day, the only real problem I had with them was the whole Ab and Fresh thing. The female parts I didn't care too much about, right? But they came out with receipts. At the end of the day, you can't say anything bad about it. They came in with facts. So what can you say? All right, I'm going to end this here.